Roman, happened in Nashville. Your reaction here a week later to Vanderbilt over Alabama?
I mean, first of all, Vanderbilt earned that win. They won the game. They led the whole game, and they beat them physically. I think that was one of the more shocking things to me was how Vanderbilt beat them physically up front. And then on the other half was Alabama's lack of discipline on the defensive side of the football. They got to get these things cleaned up. I've been talking about it for weeks now with the eye discipline, with the secondary. And when you're playing an option team, they make you play discipline. And so if a guy's faking it, and if I have dive, I was a linebacker, the defensive end has dive. I can't be worried about the dive. I got to get to the pitch or to the quarterback. And so when you don't play complementary football, you find ways to lose games, and that is what happened with Alabama. It's unfortunate. I mean, it's really unfortunate because they beat Georgia the week before and raised all these expectations, had me and you, Paul, talking about, hey, we're great. And all of a sudden now the honeymoon phase is over because you lost to Vanderbilt.
So I want to, because I know Tim will have a reaction to that, but the honeymoon phase, so all the good things that Kalen DeBoer has done.
It's over.
No.
I mean, it's still more to be happen, but it is over. It is.
You just beat the #1 team in the country.
Yeah, and nobody's talking about it. Nobody's talking about it.
But it doesn't matter what everybody's talking about. We talk about a lot of silly things all the time. That doesn't change the fact that you beat the #1 team in the country. You can't say that. Yes, is it a disappointment? Yeah. No doubt. Uh-huh. But it's also, you got to remember, 2 weeks ago, you beat Georgia when not a lot of
people. You hung on. You hung on. It'd be different if you ran this thing away in the second half. You hung on to that game. And so that is very vivid in our memory.
So then tell me this. And everything that y'all said last week in praising Alabama, was everything y'all said for nothing? Because y'all said,
yeah.
Was it?
Yeah.
No, it's not.
Yes. Kind of feels that way, Tim. It kind of feels that way. And that's because you lose to Vanderbilt, a team that you haven't lost to in 40 years.
It might feel that way.
In 40 years, Tim.
I
you
don't
were not
care
born.
about the last 40 years. What I care about is Saturday. It's one loss. Guess what? The team can react. You can grow from it. How many teams over the last 20 years that have won a championship lost a game? A lot of them. Most of them, right?
Most.
Your season's not over.
It's not.
I'm just grateful Alabama probably doesn't have y'all's mindset. They're probably going to realize, okay, we can grow, we can adapt, we can get better. I'm sorry people can't change.
Look, my mindset is you do get better. You do learn this as a learning opportunity. But I'm telling you, if you do not get the things that correct it.
But they can.
I hope they do. I've been talking about it for 2 or 3 weeks, and they have not. So if you don't get these things done.
They just beat the #1 team in the country 2 weeks ago.
Yeah, and nobody's talking about it.